And it's an excellent.
Here we've adopted a Akan culture, and then we talk about the family and we talk about a Akan, quote unquote, men and women. So the question is, well, what does that mean? Like, what does that mean in this society? And are we really a Khan? I mean, or we are just adopted a Khan culture or adopted a Khan. So I'll give you my take. For example, my wife is probably more a Khan than me in a sense of genetically. She's Jamaican, and there's a bunch of Jamaicans that come out of that area. So she's probably more a Khan than me, but I've adopted the Khan culture as a philosophy and a lifestyle. And because I deal with the cultural beliefs, I consider myself an Akan person. But if you was to go to Ghana, they would just call me a white boy. So I mean, you take your pick. So I'm like, all right, it is what it is at this point. So that's the gist of it.
Yeah, I sent Mama Moore a very short recording based on what she told me, and I resonate a lot with some of what you said. Are we really adapting Akan culture here in the United States? Question. For me, my background is Jamaican, just like my mom. My background is Jamaican, and that's a lot of the things that I do in my household. My husband and I, we both do, is based on that Jamaican culture. And so inside of that, you'll find a lot of Akan um, nuances, a lot of Akan retention. The challenge also becomes we don't live in Ghana. We live here in the United States. And then you have those cultural nuances mixed with being African American, where I was raised in the American school system. Like I grew up in the Bronx. I went to school, college, everything here in America. So then you have all this mixture of all these different cultures. But I think what we want to do is make sure that we maintain our heritage and that our children know where
Wife, what are
these
your
are.
thoughts on?
Yeah. That's a lot. I will co-sign on everything Akui has just said, but my journey is a little bit different because I was introduced to the culture through you. And in the beginning, I was very young, and I've been always searching for something to grasp, something that felt like home, something that felt like this is where I belong. And the Akan culture was that for me. But when Kwesi came to me and said, "What does it mean to be an Akan woman?" I was like, I don't think I'm an Akan woman.
Mm-mm.
I might be practicing those ideals and following the culture and way of life. But I think if you go back far back in my ancestry, maybe my ancestors were sometime Akan because I'm direct descendant from Maroon, and we can go all the way back with that. But for me, my journey was a little bit different because when I first was introduced to this culture, I was in love with my husband. So whatever my husband said this was, I followed like a little puppy because I didn't know anyone. And when I came to New York, I didn't feel like the doors of welcome and knowledge were open for me. It was closed. I felt like an outsider.